Hey, how's it going everyone? Sarasota Tim. Thanks for watching my channel. If you like my videos, I'd appreciate you giving them a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as we have a very interesting eclectic channel here and a growing community and wonderful comments. Get to know us. Come on board. Today's video is positive, great news regarding RVing. I have had this knowledge, but I forgot about it, and I want to share this epiphany that I had regarding traveling and living full-time in an RV, especially the traveling part, and how inexpensive it really is. So let me begin by saying I live full-time in a 25-foot Flagstaff camper that I'm towing behind me. It's a 2024. It is the 25 FKBS model, a microlight, and it is by far the best floor plan of any camper in the USA I've ever walked into. And I think most people agree with that have seen my videos. You can go back and check, just put in the 25 FKBS Flagstaff, and there's plenty of videos on my channel giving a complete walkthrough. And I'm going to do another one again soon with my new tow vehicle, which is a 2024 Ford Super Duty, an F-250. It's the XL work truck, entry level, with an STX package, which gives it a very nice appearance. It looks like it's a very high trim level, but yet it's just the basic truck with not such basic equipment. And it also has a gasoline engine that is new, the 6.8 liter baby Godzilla motor, the same engine as the 7.3 Godzilla motor, but not de-stroked, if that means anything to you. Now, back to the video regarding how cheap it is to travel across the entire country with an RV versus driving a Toyota or a Honda car and getting yourself a room and going out and having to eat a meal, stopping along the way to eat meals, and unless you pack a picnic or something. Listen to these numbers. Now, a lot of people like to drive 300 miles a day. I try to get 500. Usually it works out to about 400. So let's use the number 400 miles. What does it cost to go across the United States? Well, it's going to take you 6 days at 400 miles. Well, to go to Laughlin, Nevada, where I just came from, it's 2,400 miles. And 400 miles, and you're only going to get 10 miles per gallon, no matter what RV, a driver, a puller, a flyer, I don't care what kind of recreational vehicle you're driving or pulling, within 1 or 2 miles per gallon, we all get about 10 miles per gallon. Some a mile or so less, some a mile or so more. Now, let's take the 10 miles per gallon. If I went 400 miles, that would be 40 gallons of gas, right? So I have to shell out at a gas station however many times I need gas, and purchase 40 gallons of gas until I stop traveling that day. Gas is not $3 a gallon anywhere in the USA except all the way out in California and some places in Nevada and Arizona, but pretty much it's in the low twos. It's in the upper twos in Florida, and you can get these gas apps where you save 10 cents off a gallon. So let's use the $3 and back it down to $2.75 cost average is what you'll spend with the higher price and the lower price traveling across the country. But to make the math easier, let's stick with $3. So 40 gallons I'm going to burn today to travel me 400 miles closer across the country, and $3 a gallon, which is high, that's $120 that I will spend today and every day that I move 400 miles. $120. But because we know gas isn't really going to be $3, it's closer to 100. So somewhere between 100 and 120. But let's stick with the 120. So you've got $120 that you spent to move you from where you were 400 miles down the road. Now, would you pay $120 to stay in a 5-star hotel or a 4-star hotel? How about a 3-star hotel? Of course you would. You can't get a room at a Motel 6 for less than $125 to $150 now. And then what do you get? Well, first of all, you can't go in there until 3 o'clock, and you've got to get out by 11, maybe some of them noon, or give me more money, they say. You can't cook in them, so you got to go out and get your meals. And all throughout the day, if you're traveling in a car, you might be getting a much better gas mileage. Let's say you get double the gas mileage, so you're only going to spend $50 that day on fuel, but then you got to throw down, a couple of $100 for a room. And then when you want breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're driving in your car, you got to go to McDonald's and this and that, and you go out to eat, and you spend another $50 that day eating. So now it's costing you a lot more money to drive a car and get a hotel, and you don't have anything. You don't have anything but your clothes. Then you got to shuttle all your clothes in the hotel and then unpack everything. And then you got to pack everything back up and find one of them luggage carriers or go back and forth a couple of times to get all your bags, pack them neatly into your car, and repeat. Where in an RV, you pull over anywhere, you have a refrigerator full of food, a stove, your own bed, your own home, and you want to make a sandwich, you want to barbecue something, you want to cook bacon and eggs for breakfast, make a pot of coffee, and all these things where you save, you can do it at any time you want to stop. And when you get somewhere that night, you don't have to pay for an RV spot or a campground. All you got to do is pull into a Walmart, a Cracker Barrel, a Camping World, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, a Love's Truck Center, a Flying J, a Pilot, a TA. All of these places are absolutely free for you to park with your RV and go to bed. And if you work it right, you got an area where you can extend your slides out enough that you can get in and out of your coach. If you have a coach that does require the slides to be out some coaches don't require the slides to be out at all. I really don't need to have mine out at all, but it's a little bit tight, so I like to extend them. So when you think about how you can make your own food, you can stop when you want, and you've always got a place to take a nap, you've got a bed every night, you got no charge for a hotel, because all those places I mentioned are free, and they're all over the United States. If you can't find one of those places or make it your destination at the end of the day, then you don't know how to read a map. So I've discovered that traveling, even though I'm having to buy like a lot of fuel and I'm only getting 10 miles, 9 miles per gallon, where I save is what I'm doing about feeding myself. You have to eat anyway. Even if you don't leave the house, you've got to eat every day. And if you're at home and you don't go anywhere, you're not having any fun, but at least you can make your food at home. You don't have to go out to eat it. But when you're driving in a car or a pickup truck with no camper, I mean, unless you bring camping equipment, you're pretty much going to be going to McDonald's, Chili's, one of these restaurants, a steakhouse, Outback, and you're not getting as good of food as you can make yourself. I can tell you that. The food they got today in these restaurants isn't any good. And you're going to spend a lot of money. And then at the end of the day, if you got to hope there's going to be a hotel within some of these stretches on the highways, there is nothing. And the choices might be slim, may not be what you want, or may be very expensive, or they could be full. Too many chances where there's no chance. Even if you pulled off the freeway and pulled it on an exit to get you a cat nap so you could get to somewhere, with a camper or a driving RV, you have all of that. And that becomes, think about it, here's the crescendo. I'm spending $100 to $120 a day only when I'm moving. Guess how many days I'm moving? Well, we already said at 400 miles a day, it's going to take you 6 days to cross the country. I don't consider California part of the country, so far as I go is Nevada. With all due respect, there's nothing there that I need to see. I've been there, I used to live there. So 6 days to Nevada. I guess it could take longer if you want to go all the way to Oregon and track up, but let's use the 6 days to get you all the way across. After 6 days, and I get somewhere, the spending cost is over. The meter gets shut off, except for the daily cost of what it costs you to park your RV. Now, I was at the Tropicana Casino without any hookups, but with water and sewer available to me to use by moving my RV over to it or using my portable tank. And it was only $15 a day on the daily basis, or $11 a day for if you buy it by the week, $75. That's like next to free. But let's say I did want to go to a full hookup RV park. Well, the Riverside Casino in Laughlin, Nevada charges $219 a week when there's no holiday involved. That's about what they get. What does that work out to? I don't have my calculator here, but what is it? Somewhere in the neighborhood of $30, $35 a day. So you go from $100 to $120 a day when you're moving to $30, $35 a day, or do what I did at the Tropicana for $11 a day, or you can go to BLM land where, many people go out west for $0 a day. And so traveling with an RV with a limited amount of income, still maintaining your home bills that you have, if you have a sticks and bricks or an RV spot like I do here in South Florida that you have to maintain while you're away. They don't care whether you're there or not. You still got to pay your rent. So this is how you can afford, without having to relinquish your home base, and still get out and travel without breaking the bank. Because $100, let's round it down to $100 a day for 6 days is $600, and then that $600 again to get you home, that's $1,200. And then let's say, I spent $75 a week at the Tropicana. That was 2 weeks I stayed there. That was $150 more. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 150. It's $1,350. Where can you go on a cruise? How many nights can you stay in a hotel and without going to restaurants or anything, and your fuel cost in a car, and what kind of vacation is that compared to RVing and being where you want? You have the only other incidentals you have is your entertainment. Like I like to golf, go out and have one meal or two at a Mexican restaurant occasionally. But most of the time, I like to cook some steaks, make my own bacon and eggs in the morning, use my griddle, use all my camping stuff. And so it's very affordable. And if you don't even travel and you just get you an RV and you find a place somewhere in the U.S. from $300 to $1,200 a month is half of what, on the top end at $1,200, is half of what it would cost you to get a one-bedroom apartment like anywhere in South Florida or California or any popular place, Vegas, Phoenix, anywhere currently. So RV living is what I promote for seniors, for retired people, for people that are on a limited income, that want to use more of their money to be able to enjoy their life than to just give it all to insurance companies and HOAs and your mortgage company, or to a greedy landlord that's charging a lot of rent money, or high utility bills. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. And so you can do the math yourself, but remember, the meter stops. Once you get there, you're no longer spending that $100 to $120 a day for that fuel. That's the big part. And why would anybody want to stay at a KOA or an RV park on top of the fuel cost each night when they're traveling, when you have all of those free places that I mentioned that have pure safety, 100% security, stores, showers, restrooms, other people there with you, gasoline. I mean, it's like a 10 out of 10. Why would you want to be, a rest area is okay. You have the restrooms and all. You don't have a store, so you just have to make sure you have all your stock in your camper. But I love the truck stops, and that's what the truckers love too. In fact, there's hundreds of them in there across this country every single evening doing the same thing, repeating it over and over and over, and then moving down the road. So traveling with an RV is what I promote. Forget the car, forget the truck, forget a tent. Get yourself an RV and start crushing it.